Alright, what's happening, guys? Muhammad here with Rights of Fathers. Alright, today I'm going to tell you guys my story on how I lost custody of my son. The way that it went was like this. Alright, this is going to be kind of strange how it all happened. But what happened was, alright, so this is how it happened. I was married to the mother of my child, and we got a divorce. And then after our divorce, we actually separated amicably. We got 50-50 custody, and in the custody agreement, there were stipulations that we both agreed upon, and this was certified by a state mediator. So based on the stipulations, we're both, supposed to equally share the child, and we're supposed to both equally make any major decisions. So that's involving, the child's education, involving medical decisions, basically any major life impacting event we both have to agree upon. And that was the agreed upon stipulation. So fast forward into the future, my son was about 6 or 7 years old, I believe. He was in pre-K, like right before going into his first year in elementary school. I noticed that every time that he came to, every time he got dropped off to me, I noticed that he was just like, something was just different, like if you're involved in your child's life, you're gonna notice, like, the most subtle things. And I noticed he just like, every time he left school, he just wasn't he wasn't having a good day. Like, he would come when I picked him up from school, he was just angry, and I didn't really say anything. I just thought maybe he just didn't enjoy the school. So all of a sudden, I started getting phone calls, and in the phone calls by the school, they'll just start basically saying that, he was like, I forgot what the word is, defiant. Yeah, that's the word. They use the word defiant. They're saying he's defiant, and he was disruptive in class, and things of that nature. So I started talking to him, and of course, when you ask a child, they just go right into defensive mode. He doesn't really, he doesn't, they won't really tell you what's going on. They'll just kind of get in like a defensive posture, and not really answer any of your questions. And I realized, he's only 6 or 7, he doesn't have the words to describe, what was happening to him. The phone calls kept coming, they kept coming. I'll be at work, and they'll call me, I have to leave. I got fired at a bunch of jobs because, when they call me, I have to leave, And a lot of the employers were very understanding, but I mean, they were calling me like every day in a week, And some of the jobs I quit, some of them I got fired because I kept leaving, to go to school to check on them. So one time, one particular day, they called me, and when I went to the school, I was like, I just had enough. I was like, nope, something ain't right. So I actually went and shadowed him. So I sat down in his class, and I just watched, And the first thing that I noticed was he was basically separated from the rest of the kids. So basically, he was like all the way in the back row, and he was like to the right side, and all the rest of the students were on the left side. and now that alarmed me. But again, I didn't say anything. I just sat there and watched, and I could tell like the teacher kind of um, marked him as kind of like I don't know. I guess kind of I'll say like he was like the black sheep of the class. I could, just from being in school, all my life, and my dad's a college professor. I certain things, I just realized, and at this point, I started to really question the school, and I was like, wow, this kid is only 6 or 7 years old, and you're already, marked him sort of like as an outcast. Like, that's not right. So what I did was I asked for his entire medical record. I'm sorry, not medical, but his educational records. I said, I want everything. I filled out a form. I checked all the boxes. I said medical, everything, And when they sent me the paperwork, it was literally like the stack. It was over 300 pages. And when I read every single page, and it was the most disturbing thing that I've ever seen. I actually have all the paperwork. I'm gonna upload it to the website. It's rightsoffathers.com. I haven't uploaded any document, but I will. I'm gonna upload all the court documents, my son's medical records, his educational records. I'm even gonna upload court records. I'll even upload some files, so some fathers hopefully in the future can find use for it. But the details of it, man, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's like what they did was I found out that they put him in psychiatric medication. They sent him to a trauma center. Can you believe a 6-year-old in a trauma center? They put him in there for an entire summer, and without even telling me. And my son was beyond trauma. I mean, what they did to him, it was like you would think, we were in Nazi Germany, and when I was reading through everything, the reason why they did it was they said it was because of his father's background. Father is, African, and the reason was that. What was the reason that they said? It was they said it was he had like violent tendencies, and because of his cultural background, he's having issues adjusting, which is insane because his mother is from America, and they put him in English as second language. They put him in like all of this like kind of behavioral classes, like I mean, the things that they did to him. I mean, it was basically like a horror movie. It was a horror movie for any parent. Even not forget about fathers. Even a real mother should be horrified. But come to find out, she was actually the one that orchestrated all of this. Apparently, it was part of her long-term strategy to remove him from my life. And so, of course, I was devastated, when I found all these details. And so I sued everybody. I sued the trauma center. I sued the school. I sued the state. I sued the mother. I took him to federal court. I think in one of my previous videos, I briefly talked about it. Just check it out. And I mean, the reason I lost was because at that time, unfortunately, I was working for the feds, and I was actually working in the federal court. So the federal judge did some weird stuff where he, threatened me with U.S. Marshals, forced me to basically, leave my job. And I mean, he did some shady shit, maybe later on I'll get deeper into this. This is kind of like a quick video. Um, and that's basically how I lost my son. And their reason was that the main reason was because of they wanted him on Ritalin, which is a Schedule 2 psychiatric drug. And because I oppose it, and because I question it, and because I basically stated that as a father I have the right to be aware of, to be notified about this, and also I have the right to object, um, and I tried to remove him from school so I could teach him myself, and none of it worked. At this point, the state of Wisconsin, they intervened. They actually appointed 2 district attorneys, to one of them to serve as his attorney, and then the other one to serve as the guardian ad litem. So yeah, that's what happened. I've never heard of a district attorney representing a child, but apparently in Wisconsin, that's possible. That's the reason why I created this channel. This is the reason why I'm going to document this whole story. I'm hoping the point of this channel is to help fathers, so that maybe they can learn from some of my mistakes. Maybe I can teach them something. Maybe I can help a couple of fathers, and maybe we can save some children from basically being stolen from the state. And it's just like a really bizarre story, like and so yeah, basically this is how they did it. It was so diabolical, and I think that because I was suing everybody, they kind of got scared for liability, and actually that's actually what compelled me to actually learn the law. So yeah, the receipts are coming shortly, guys. And then in a couple of days, I'm gonna make a video to help you guys get out of child support. And I'm gonna keep making a lot of videos so I can help some fathers to battle these diabolical child stealers. So look out for the next video.